Hi, Luke here from Technicamps again, running through the tasks for session 4. So this is going to be tasks 4.1 up to challenge task 4.4. In the lecture, we focused quite a lot on selection, so using if statements. So that's kind of going to be the focus of today's tasks. So task 4.1, write a program to check if you are old enough to drive. The program should ask for the user's age in years and output whether they are old enough to get a driver's license in the UK. So I think that's 17. Okay, so we're going to go to Python. We're going to get a new file up. We're going to get the user to enter their age. So we're going to have age equals. We're going to get them to enter it in years, and we only really want them to enter whole numbers because it doesn't matter if you're 16 and a half. You can't get a driver's license until you're exactly 17 or over. So please enter your name. Not your name, your age in years. And I'm storing it as an integer. In fact, I think for this task, we probably, because we're not doing any manipulation with the age, we don't have to have it as an integer. But I'm going to have it as an integer. I think that's going to make the comparisons much easier. In fact, if we stored it as a string, less than or equal to or greater than or equal to is going to do it in dictionary order rather than in numerical order. So storing it as an integer is going to be pretty useful. So if age is greater than or equal to 17, print you, quotation marks, you are old enough to get a driver's license. Else, so otherwise your age is going to be less than 17, so 16 or under. Print you are too young to learn to drive. Wait a couple of years and try again. So let's save this. Save as. I'm going to save this as task 4.1. I'm going to run this. Run the module. Okay, so let's enter something that we know isn't going to work. So let's say we're 9 years old. You are too young to learn to drive. Wait a couple of years and try again. Let's run the program again. And this time, let's say we're 32. We're old enough to get a driver's license. Perfect. Okay. So write a program to check if you're old enough to drive. Perfect. The program should ask for the user's age in years. Fine, and output whether or not to get a driver's license. Perfect. Okay. Task 4.2. Write a program which asks for the name of your lecturer. If the name is Liam, then the program should display Liam is wearing a t-shirt. If the name is not Liam, then it should display lecturer name is wearing a formal shirt. And then it's got some considerations. How would your program deal with different with input with different cases, so uppercase or lowercase? How could you make it case insensitive or alternatively case sensitive? And that's referring to the upper and lower methods that we can call on strings. So let's get us a new file, and we're going to have lecturer name equals input. Okay, I don't need it to be, a name is going to be a string, a sequence of characters. Input by default casts the value to a string data type. So what is your lecturer's name? Okay. Now, if lecturer name equals for comparison, Liam, and Liam needs to be a string, colon, print, lecturer name, comma, open parentheses, is wearing a t-shirt, close quotation marks, close parentheses. If lecturer name is the same as Liam, print lecturer name, comma, open quotation marks, is wearing a t-shirt, close quotation marks, close parentheses. Else, we need to print lecturer name, comma, is wearing a formal shirt, close quotation marks, close parentheses. So this is case sensitive. So let's save this and run it to kind of demonstrate that. Task 4.42. There we go. Run module. Okay, so if I enter something like Stuart, let's say with a capital S, Stuart, it's going to say Stuart is wearing a formal shirt. Let's run the program again, and let's type in Liam. Liam is wearing a t-shirt. Cool, that seems to work. But let's run it one more time, and let's say I type in Liam. It's telling me that Liam with uppercase letters is wearing a formal shirt. Okay, so it's case sensitive. One of the ways we can get around being case sensitive is by doing a check. So let's say check equals lecturer name dot upper, and then we're going to compare our check with Liam in uppercase letters. So what this is going to do is it's going to take the lecturer name, convert it to uppercase letters, and store that in a variable called check, and then compare our check with the uppercase version of the input. Sorry, check is the uppercase version of the input, and we're going to compare that with the uppercase version of Liam. It's still going to print out the lowercase version, or the original input case version that's entered by the user. So let's run it like this. Even if I enter Liam in lowercase letters, it's going to convert it to uppercase letters for the check. This converted to uppercase letters is going to give us a true, and the if condition, and it will print out Liam with lowercase letters is wearing a t-shirt. Okay, so that's that's task 4.2. Task 4.3, write a program which can convert pounds to euros and vice versa. Upon running the program, the user should be asked if they want to perform option 1 of converting pounds to euros, or option 2 of converting euros to pounds. After making this choice, the user should be prompted with a suitable text to input an amount. The program should then output the converted amount. The current conversion rates are, and this is quite an old, you can tell it's quite an old task because those are definitely not the conversion rates anymore. So let's give that a go. We're gonna have a new file, new file. Okay, and we've got quite a nice printed out version here. So welcome to the currency converter. It's got some nice formatting. Which option would you like? And then it asks us for some amounts. So we're going to do kind of a similar thing. We're going to have a print statement which says, welcome to the currency converter with capitals. Yeah, let's do the same. Currency converter. Close quotation marks, close brackets. And then we're going to print, and just for spacing, we're going to have a new line. And we're going to have one open parentheses, space, I think euros to pounds, convert pounds to euros, and then a new line, which is going to be part 2, which is convert euros to pounds, and then a final new line, which is going to say, which option would you like? Actually, we're not going to have a new line. Let's call it like that. So that prints out, and then we're going to have our input, which is saying we're going to store the value of the input in a variable called option. We're going to take an integer input, because they're going to select input 1 or 2, and we're going to have, which option would you like? Which option would you like, colon, space, quotation mark, close parentheses, close parentheses. Okay, if the option they enter is the same as the value 1, we're going to ask them to input, we're going to actually need to store this, aren't we? So, so 1 is pounds to euros. They're going to input a number of pounds, and we're going to tell them how many euros they want. So number of pounds equals int. Are we going to do whole numbers? No. Let's say that they can enter, they could enter pounds and pennies, right? Number of pounds equals float input. Please enter the number of pounds to be converted. Okay, and once we've got that, we need to print out amount in euros is blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we need to do some maths, and the maths that we have here is £1 is 1.25 euros. So number of euros is number of pounds times 1.25, and then we're going to print out in nice formatting amount in quotation marks, amount in euros, and we're going to do some nice formatting here. So percent 0.2f, close quotation marks, and then we're having number of euros, close parentheses. Okay, and then we've got our maybe else. Let's try and get that actually on the screen nice. We're going to have an elif, option equals is the same as 2. This time they're going to enter a number of euros, because they've chosen to convert euros to pounds rather than pounds to euros, equals, and again we can have a floating point number, input, please enter the number of euros to be converted. Okay, very similar to the if statement that we've just done. And then we're going to have, instead of number of euros, we're going to have number of pounds equals, we're saying it's 0.8. So number of euros times 0.8. And then we're going to print amount in pounds, and again similar formatting, 0.2f, close quotation marks, percent number of pounds. Okay, and then I'm going to actually have an else statement just to make my code a little bit nicer, because what happens if they enter like option 12, which isn't an option. I'm going to just put print you did not select a valid option. Okay, so I'm going to file, save this, and again save it as task 4.3. Let's run it. Welcome to the currency converter, convert euros to pounds, pounds to euros or euros to pounds. Which option do we want? Liam's given us an example where we select 1. Please enter the number of pounds to be converted. The number of pounds we're going to convert is 50.65. 50.65, and we're expecting the output to be 63.31, and we got 63.31. Perfect. That extra else statement I added in, if we just run this program again and I choose option 9, for example, it's going to say you did not select a valid option, because I only have option 1 or option 2. Okay, so that's task 4.3. Task 4.4. Change task 4.3, copy the file first, so that instead of using fixed conversion rates, prompt the user to enter today's rate, which can then be used in the calculations. Okay, so we're going to file, save as this into task 4.4. So after they've, in each of these else, if and elif statements, we're going to have to get them to input the rate. So rate equals float input. Please enter the number of euros per pound. So in our previous example, if the rate was £1 was 1.25 euros, they'd enter 1.25 here, number of euros per pound. And then instead of using this flat 1.25, we're going to use our rate. Okay, and then we're going to have a similar thing, so I'm just going to copy and paste it in our elif, but instead of entering the number of euros per pound, we're going to enter the number of pounds per euro. Okay, and again, that 0.8 is going to be changed to the rate. Okay, so I'm going to save this program, file save. I'm going to run the program, and we're just going to make sure that it works the way it should have before. So we're going to take option 1 and kind of enter the same information we entered previously. So please enter the number of pounds to be converted. We're going to enter 50.65, and our rate was 1.25, and we still get 63.31 out, which is good. If we run the program again, we're going to choose option 2. We're going to enter 63.31 euros and say that each euro is worth 0.8 pounds, and we should get 50.65 back. Okay. And similarly, we've still got that end catch case where we could enter something like 9, and it's going to tell us we didn't select a valid option. Okay. So that's a slightly more useful file because you can use today's rate rather than just a static one, and currency exchange rates change quite rapidly. So it's good use. Okay, so that's everything for session 4, an introduction to using if, elif, and else statements. Good luck with the rest of the course and session 5.